to Brown Sugar Confessions, guys. And we are coming to you as Brown Sugar Confessions, wherever you are getting your listening and your viewing pleasure. Make sure that right now, before you do anything, go to Facebook, go to YouTube, Instagram, all of those social media, like and follow us on Brown Sugar Confessions, because we are going to start the new season hot and heavy for September, and you want to make sure you don't miss a single episode. You don't know by now, go to YouTube and check me out. I am Doc Val. I am your resident clinical sexologist. And right next to me, I have Kate D's in the house. What's up, love? How are you?
Well, I didn't in the flesh.
Finally.
I've come out of hiding, guys.
Gosh, she's been gone the whole. She's literally been in bed the whole summer. We're going to talk about why you're in bed the whole summer. Okay, go ahead. Let me show you.
Well, it's so nice to be back, guys. I have been having my out girl summer. I've been rolling around South America, the Caribbean, the bed, a lot of the bed. For those who may not know, my husband was out of the country for a very long time. He came back, so we got to spend a lot of quality time, and we celebrated 5 years of marriage.
Congratulations. Yay. Awesome. Well, we have missed you. The audience have missed you. She has been gone basically the whole summer. So welcome back.
Thank you.
And kiss Honey for me and tell him welcome back home.
I will absolutely do that.
So besides you being in bed a lot and been traveling, I guess it's been your whole summer, right? It's been in the France Islands.
I had a been that summer and changing their sheets.
Look, I'm gonna tell y'all, there's this whole thing on TikTok and Facebook and everywhere you get your social media about when to change your sheets. Like, I change my sheets often, but if you're intimate, I think you should change them a lot. Like the next day, you don't do the night of if you don't go to sleep, but the next change them, especially if you're a leaker. For lack of a better word, a leaker, right? You know what I'm trying to say, right? A leaker, change those sheets or get one of those leaking pads so it can absorb it.
So I will be honest, I'm definitely, because I when I got my mattress, I was like, I am not finding another couple of years. So I have a very expensive cover for my bed that like ensures that nothing, you could drop wine, you could tap coffee, you could drop an entire meal on that thing and it's not going to touch that mattress.
Oh,
so I absolutely think everyone should get covers for your mattress, and it also helps with keeping your mattress just always looks nice and new and fresh at all times. So I highly recommend that. Spend money on your mattress covers. Don't buy that cheap stuff from Walmart, Kmart,
Walmart and Target. I'm telling your age, Kmart
has no longer here, but the place formerly known as Kmart. Don't buy it from there. Make sure you go through it if they're a professional company. I got mine from a company that mattress and pay decent money for it. It's worth it. Okay, absolutely worth it.
Sorry.
So I change my sheet probably once a week.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? We're going to talk about some sheet changing and what to do to absorb if you're a leaker. And y'all know what I mean by leaker. But before we get into that, we're going to bring up right now. We're going to bring up Miss Tracy. What's up, love? How's life in New York? Hot girl summer. You're at the end, right?
We're over hot girl summer. I'm officially in pumpkin slut fall.
Wait. I want that on a t-shirt. Pumpkin slut fall. That is t-shirt. And that's, okay, go ahead. That's a good one. Pumpkin slut fall. And orange and black and gold.
Yes. The leaves are changing color up here.
All right.
Leaves are falling. It's some of my trees are already orange. The black walnut trees, the squirrels are going bananas. So I'm relaxing and chilling, and I just thought of an amazing idea. for Doc Val when she teaches. I
Welcome.
think you should have specific those wet pads as part of your kit.
I think you're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you're right. For
Yeah.
those that are leakers, so like, what's out on the market now for women that are leakers?
There's these absorbency pads.
Yes, like
That's what
puppy
I
pads,
have.
right? Almost.
Yeah, no, it's not a pee pad. It actually has you can get them customized with your own design or whatever they have in stock.
Mhm.
But I have several in my house because I change my seats twice a week. Uh,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and you just put them on your bed because nobody wants to sleep in a wet spot. And
No.
I'm gonna tell you honestly, this is the kind of gal I am. We don't do the do on my side of the bed. We do the do on their side of the bed. So they have to sleep in the wet spot and I'm all snuggly and dry. But they learned,
I think a lot of women actually do the do on the side of the male, and he can lay in the wet spot. Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
I really do.
yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned that. So I want to ask our listeners out there, when you're doing the do, ladies, do you intentionally position yourself so that when you're doing the do, the wet spot is on his side of the bed? Because typically he's making the wet spot anyway. Let's be honest. Typically he's making
It's
it.
his gift. It's his
Yes.
gift from me
Yeah.
to
So
you.
why don't you lay in your own wet spot? Because it's mostly 90% of it's probably yours. Oh, that's your Onika. One of my friends said use an Omnipad. Can you use that to absorb? I would think so.
You can, but here's where it gets odd is the noise that it makes.
Mhm.
Because when it
Oh.
crinkles, yeah, you got to think about all that stuff. Like I
About
want to hear
that.
the bad boy going bam, bam, bam. Like that's what I want to hear. I don't want to hear the pee pee pad going squish, 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 squish. I don't want to hear all that. It's taking me. I'm done. I'm out of the mood now. Turn on Baki. Uh, it just I like them one and they're more comfortable. I have a condition where I get cold very easily and the plastic that is outlying on the pee, it needs to be warmed up just like the lube, just like all of that stuff, the toys, it all needs to be warmed before it even touches me or I'm a kicker and you will get kicked. So the pad, which is cloth, all you do is just lay it down on your bed and it warms to your body temperature. And or you can if you're one of those people that's like, you know that I'm a leaker, one that's weak, you let these fools know who you are. You put the pad underneath the sheets and nobody knows the difference.
Yeah, exactly. I think women have to be okay. And for those that are leakers, and I know personally, I have a lot of clients that have come to me and said, I leak a lot and I want to stop leaking because it makes a mess and it's a messy for him. It's messy for me. How do I stop it?
You
And
don't.
I always ask them, why do you want to stop it? You know, if you have that ability to do that and you're releasing, you're having an orgasm with it, because not anyone that leaks, and you guys know leaking, right? Go look it up, is orgasming. That's not true. Some women can just leak and not have any orgasms, and some can orgasm as they're leaking. So when I get a client coming to me and they're saying, oh, they want to stop and it's too messy, that's the first thing I'm asking. Are you having a orgasm as you're leaking, or is it just the fluid coming out of you? And 9 times out of 10, they're telling me they're not orgasming. It's just fluid. And I said, so why don't you take some technique classes so that you can learn? If you're going to do it, then do it. Like, don't take it out of it. Yeah, don't dehydrate it, sister, right? Just don't do it and I'm dehydrated. Let me have a release out of it. And so if you're listening out there, and I know you are, go
to Brown Sugar Confessions right now on YouTube. Put a comment in. If you are a leaker, what do you use to absorb it while you're leaking? Do you
It's
use a
crazy.
puffy pad? Do you use one of the expensive pads for that? Do you use a towel? We're really curious because I think we're going to have something for you very soon that will be absorbent, that's reusable for you leakers out there. And my second question for you, don't forget Brown Sugar Confessions. Go there right now on YouTube, make a comment, or go to our Facebook page. Also at what? Brown Sugar Confessions. And tell me, I'm curious, if you position yourself to go your partner in the wet spot, because you're not going to do it. Because I think most women do, and guys just don't know. I should even be telling y'all this.
Yeah, he may have just been giving away.
They think I just gave all the secret. Oh, now I'm going to get a bunch of emails. Oh, yeah, my wife had me always in the wet spot. Well, you made it. Jeez, I think you got a couple of hot topics you want to go over. What's going on in the world? There's a lot of pregnancies.
Yeah, pregnancies,
It's-
divorces, everything.
It's a lot. Go ahead,
Yes. It's this retrograde. The way it came in with this Aquarius full moon, y'all better check your egos and get in line and do your work. That's all I'm gonna say about
Lord.
this.
I don't even know what
I
she
don't
said.
have
I don't follow it. I don't understand any of that. It was gibberish. What do you mean by the retrograde and what is that other thing you just said?
so we just had the Aquarius full moon.
Is that
And
like AKA
uh,
the blue moon?
yes.
That was so pretty.
That-
But go ahead.
And it won't happen again until 2037.
Yeah.
But in the next 4 months, we have a series of supermoons, and this is a very rare occurrence. And I need everybody to pay attention while we're going through these supermoons. Super full moons are not for manifesting. One, I mean, if you want to do it wrong, go ahead and do it. But this is really to release what's inside of you. So stop dealing with your ego. This full moon and this retrograde is really about losing your ego, specifically built around what other people expect from you. It's time to get really authentic and really honest. Um, most people probably felt it hardest about 7 days ago, and it's going to go for a little while longer. But when you're in this retrograde, just pay attention to how you communicate. Are you being authentic to yourself? Are you being authentic to your boundaries? Are you allowing people to run over you in a way that is not conducive to you being mentally, physically, and spiritually healthy? And if they are, it's time to set those boundaries up. I don't care who they are, your mama, your daddy, your husband, your wife, your kids, your dog, in my case, my cats. Like, you got to check everybody. Check them all, but more importantly, check yourself, because that's the only person you can really have control over. Right?
Okay.
Let's be
Mhm.
completely honest.
So not only
So
you're this amazing, beautiful woman, but you do astrology, it sounds like to me. 'Cause I had no idea
well,
about any of this.
I don't do astrology. I'm going to be completely honest with you, but because of what I do and reading people's birth charts and knowing Vedic astrology, which is really what I tend to lend myself to best, you kind of have to pay attention to these transitions, because we are humans, right? We're humans and we have thoughts, but above all else, we are specific chemicals that are made up, put together, just like all the other things around here, including water, right? And humans are a lot of water. You have to pay attention to the push and pull of things and how they affect you. Of course, everybody has their own individual lived experience, but some of that crap is all the same. Do you know what I'm saying? Some of it's all the same, and you just have to pay attention to it. But do I study it? No. Do I pay attention? I'm a Virgo, yes.
Okay, got it. All right. So I cut
All
you
right.
off about your hot topics, and thanks for going over that, because I had no idea about any of that. I know the retrograde and blue moon, but that was my extent of understanding that. But so talk to us a little bit about what's going on, because there is a lot of hot madness going. There's been a hot summers all over the place.
I think we knew what was happening with the presidency when Biden said, I'll take you fishing or golfing or whatever. It was like, next, next, next. I think a lot of the miscommunication has been going on. This Mercury retrograde goes back to about, you're going to be feeling this energy, same energy, probably about a year and a half ago, if not 2 years ago, depending on where you were in your Saturn return, Jupiter, Mercury, all those returns. Which is why there are so many public divorces, why there are so many public, not that there aren't, but they're getting very loud because these people knew that they should not be getting married. But again, when you get some Leos together and they get that beauty pageant going, they get them egos in the way and they think, oh, what everybody else says, me and you. And then now people are moving houses, they fighting, saying you whack, your kids whack, they whack, your old man don't want you no more. Hey, you knew what this ego stuff was. So to what is that called? Benifer or J Lo and Ben whatever.
Ben Affleck. They're getting divorced, right?
Yeah, they're getting divorced. Their favorite song I still like from her is Taco Flavored Kisses from South Park. I know y'all remember. You don't remember South Park, the cartoon?
I remember South Park.
I don't remember Taco Flavored Kisses. I don't know about that.
That sounds good.
She didn't sing any of her songs. Let's be completely honest. Now that we know the truth, it was Ashanti and several other singers that sang all of her songs.
Yeah, I heard about that she doesn't really sing. I saw that all over TikTok. And
yeah, her team was striking all them videos. They was earning that coin that day. But yeah, all this divorce
so
stuff.
Sad, doesn't he?
But you don't care about him. I'm gonna be completely honest. I think he did what he did because he wanted to one up A-Rod.
Yeah.
Because Jennifer Lopez was with A-Rod. A-Rod is one cheating son of a gun. And he does what he does in every relationship, which is cheat. And he chased her all around Europe and Italy trying to get her back. And, Ben was the one that got away after Jiggly, that movie. And now they got back together and they're like, we're going to do it better. Guess what? When you end it with someone and you get back together, if none of y'all have been to therapy, it ain't no fresh start. Y'all still got the same issues you had the moment y'all broke up. Y'all just older and y'all grumpier and testosterone and estrogen is lower and y'all gonna be arguing. That's what I'm gonna say. I think their egos got in the way. I think also the situation with Sean Combs got in the way.
Yeah, what happened with Sean Combs this summer? Did he got not he
did everything.
He's not in jail, right?
No, not yet.
Right.
Not yet.
Not yet.
No, they put his sons in jail. His sons went to jail.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they raided them houses.
Yeah,
they at the same time the feds raided houses on both in the LA and in Miami.
Right.
And got the sons, took them to jail. Diddy was pacing in a parking lot in Miami trying to get out of there, get to a country with no extradition. I mean, he moved fast. He left his kid behind. He said, I don't know about y'all, but I'm out of here. He said, meet me. And busted out United States in jet skiing while they eating ham sandwiches in the county. Here's what I'm going to say. I think we all knew Sean Combs was up to no good for a long time, but he had such a stranglehold on everything and was literally doing things behind the scenes to keep people quiet, including threatening them and bombing cars and stuff that it kept a lot of people quiet. I mean, how does the average schmo go against somebody like that?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah, that's a really good documentary on Diddy that I watched on, was it Tubi or something like that? It's quite an interesting little story.
Not
Yeah.
Tubi. They probably had crazy wigs on that channel.
Yeah, Tubi definitely got some crazy stuff on it, but that was actually a well done documentary they had. I think it was Tubi or Pluto, either one of those stations that, you just be watching the craziest independent stuff you can get. Yeah. What about
Yes.
isn't Cardi B pregnant and getting divorced?
That she is. I guess Offset got a cheated again. I think for the third or fourth or 10th time. I am allegedly. Uh, uh, and at first she was denying that she was pregnant, but I understand why. Fans are rabid, and parasocial dynamics can lead people to want to hide things like Haley Bailey did. Haley
Mm-hmm.
Bailey?
Aaron
Haley.
Al Bailey?
No, Haley Bailey. That is
Haley Bailey.
it
That's
just
it. Yeah.
rhymes. It rhymes too much for me.
Yeah.
Just like she hid her pregnancy to keep her son, and her family safe. People were actively just being cruel and malicious to her. And all she was trying to do is what any other person would do in when they're pregnant with their family, but people feel that if you're in the public eye, I own a piece of you. That is part of patriarchy. You think you own someone because, I don't know, you're bored, you're lonely. I just don't know, and I don't care to know, but it's ridiculous and it's disgusting. But Cardi B is pregnant now. She did have a scare, and he didn't support her through that. I think it sucks that she's going through this while she's pregnant. I don't wish anyone harm. I don't wish anyone ill. But what I'm going to say is if they'll do this to you while you're having and extending their bloodline, they will do absolutely anything to you. Please understand that.
There is something about cheating, having an affair, whatever you want to call it, when your wife or significant other is pregnant. There's just something around that almost seems vile to me.
I will say it's
It is.
violent. Not even just violent.
It is violent.
It's just, your partner is giving birth to your child, and you're not able to rejoice in that. You're not able to comfort her, to walk with her in that journey, and you've got to find a way to go behind her back and have a relationship with someone, or just have casual sex with someone. There's just something about that and that is something I personally have to work on, because that just gets under my skin. That's one of my big boundaries. Like, she needs all of you,
Right.
all of you, to support her. Every inch of you, every DNA strand in you, she needs it as she carries your child and gives birth. And the stress of her realizing while she's pregnant, or she's already having emotional concerns because she might not feel as beautiful as she used to, she's gaining weight, et cetera, et cetera. And then she finds out that you are flipping a slime as a woman. And I just went off the clock, and not even, can I say doctrinally? That's not even very doctrinally what I said. That's just my personal isms. Like, that is a boundary that I just cannot get around when I hear that a man, an eggplant holder, has done that to his female partner. So we're going to come back, because we're going to talk about something that we haven't talked about yet, which is, can we say deep throating? I think deep throating. Yeah. Deep throat, having a deep throat. We're going to get into some more topics, so don't get anywhere, because we're Brown Sugar Confessions. Get a drink of water. Come right back.
Tag them up on that, the Brown Sugar Confessions. We are on all of your social medias, so make sure you like, share, and follow us on Facebook, on TikTok.
I'm on here. We do need to get up TikTok. I'm on TikTok under Dr. Al.
To find us on YouTube, and YouTube is a big one because if you miss any of our shows, you can go back to YouTube. You can follow, you can listen, you can respond, and we check all the messages. So if you have a question or if you want to have input about something we said on this specific time marker, you can say right here, hey, this is my thought. I did that too. So make sure you go to YouTube. We are Brown Sugar Confessions on everything except TikTok. And make sure you see us there. So we're going to hop right back into it. We have some juicy, juicy stories from Treese. Let's hear it, girl.
Okay. So I, 35M, cheated on my wife, 36F. She left without telling me. How do I get her back? He says, I'm aware of all my faults. She's still the love of my life. We were together for 10 years, dated for 2, married for 8, but I made a huge mistake and cheated on her. I guess she found something on my phone. I came home one afternoon as usual, and everything felt weird. The house felt emptier. It was really quiet, and quickly I realized that her things were gone. Panicked, started calling her over and over again, but her phone didn't even ring. Suddenly, I saw some papers. She was divorcing me, and on the divorce papers, she wrote this: "This is what you do with cheaters." This was the last thing I got from her 2 years ago. Of course, I called to the contact information for her lawyer, who has been the only bridge between us, but he just told me that she was her legal representative and she didn't want to see me. I fought, I got angry. But in the end, the lawyer just told me it would be better if I got my own lawyer. I didn't want to. I absolutely refused to get a divorce, and I just wanted her back. I know that if she gave me a chance, I could be the sweet. If we got back together, I could make the sweet and special girl I had met more than 10 years ago fall in love with me. I know that I can get her to forgive me. After all, many couples go through similar things and get over it. Why can't we? I haven't been able to see her or hear her voice in 2 years. 2 years of not being able to see or talk to the person you love the most is such punishment. This situation has destroyed me emotionally, mentally, and physically. I ended up consuming lots of alcohol, barely eating, and not sleeping. In those 2 years, I got a therapist and I'm getting better. The divorce was finalized over a year ago, and I'll be honest, I didn't make it easy. I didn't want to get divorced. I fought her on absolutely everything down to the house plants. When I couldn't take the pain anymore, just gave up. But I didn't give up my love for her. Well, a few days ago, I found out something that shattered me. I was having a few friends with my beer at my house, beers with my friends at my house. Let's call him Nick. We both got pretty drunk, and I started talking about my wife again. And he said to me, you should put in more effort to getting over her. She's over you. She's happy, living a life away from you. You should do the same. You can't live a pity party all your life. I knew he knew something, so I kept questioning him and badgering him. And finally, he said, your wife lives in Norway, or your ex-wife lives in Norway, is remarried and is very pregnant and is very happy. That destroyed me. How could she do this to me? How could she go on living her life when I felt like dying? She was supposed to be having my babies, not some Norwegian guys. Where did this guy come from anyway? Like, we've only been divorced 2 years. How did she know that he was the right one and not me? I can't believe it. I still have no answers. Maybe she got married. He says, the only thought that came to my mind is that she got married because she wanted to stay in the country legally. I guess in many countries, that's just what you do. But I refuse to think that she's still in love with him. How do I get in contact with her? How do I tell her I love her? How do I get her back?
All right, Katie, you might go first.
Bye. Hold on.
Bye.
But that's all I got for him. You don't get her back. And it's really interesting. Did he really ask that? Like, this is absolutely
Yes, no,
crazy
I'm
that
reading what he really asked. And he had people asking how can he like find her information in another country and who can he hook him up with a PI in that country. And
yeah, no, you're crazy. You need to stay very far away from her. You need to let this lady live her life. How it's really interesting, the entitlement. There's so much entitlement in the entire from the very beginning all the way up to the end. Each breath, each word he wrote was just drizzled with all sorts of entitlement. Like he feels entitled to this woman, despite the fact that she obviously was not here for the cheating. He was entitled with the fact that, oh well, so many people get over this, yeah, but apparently that's not how she felt. She's entitled to choose to not accept and tolerate your nasty behavior. So he really needs to let it go. He needs to get more counseling. He hasn't had enough counseling yet. I don't know if there's enough counseling in the world for him, but he's going to need a lot more than he's got to even get the next person, because he's going to have to, if he wants to have a happy, successful relationship in the future, there's a whole lot of things he needs to let go. He needs to work on letting go of his self-centeredness. He needs to let go of his entitlement, and he needs to let go of her. Like he needs to let go of all those things, because trying to chase this woman who is now married in Norway with a child on the way, ain't it? Like, I hope she's on notice and has called the Norwegian police and said, hey, if this man's passport crosses into this country, block him, because he is dangerous. Like, why are you doing all this? Like, seriously, why? What is wrong with you? Someone needs to, like, shake him and say, what's wrong with you? No, get over this. And if you talk about it again, I'm calling the police. Like, absolutely not.
I hear you. Okay, Tracy, what do you got to say about, is he the a-hole?
absolutely, he's beyond. He is beyond the beyond. He is where I like to call the great divide in the butt crack. That is where he is. How dare you? How dare you inflict that amount of pain on a woman and then question her loyalty and question who she is? You didn't question that when you skipped out on your marriage. You didn't question that when you thought, oh, I can have my cake and eat it too. But she called you. It's this amazing thing. They call it a graph. And on one side, it says F around. And the other one says find out. And you are at the 10 of 10 of that graph.
When we're both today, that's a t-shirt. The graph, F around and find out. What did you call the pumpkin thing? The fall? Oh my God. Oh God, I gotta go back. I gotta look at that, because that was the spices. Okay, I'm sorry. I got distracted with your symbols and stuff.
Just the audacity. But again, I want to say that he feels entitled to this woman because he does not view her as a human being. He views her as property. The fact that he still calls her his wife, the fact that he questions her validity to move on and have a child and have a future without him, speaks to his wanting to own her. I can make that girl, not that woman, that girl come out. He is infantizing her to make her, you're not thinking clearly. You're not hearing me. What aren't you catching? He is miserable, and I hope he rots.
Not rotting.
That's all I have to say.
So I think it's a consensus that he is the a-hole.
Yeah. But you didn't get it.
I did not. My thought is, I agree with both of you. It has been, sir, it is 2 years, not 2 months. You are living in the past. Your body, your mind, it is all living in yesteryear. It's not fair to you, and it certainly isn't fair to her. You need therapy. You need to find someone to process your emotions, to help you move forward, because right now you are not safe to be with at all. No woman should be with you. because there are too many isms. There's too much going on in your mind, in your body, in your soul, and spirit that's not allowing you to see and move and grow. You made an error in your relationship. She chose, based upon what you did, the consequence, to move on with her life. You have to be okay with that. And whether you're okay with it or not, you need to respect and honor her enough to let her go. Because real love is not about you trying to control and confine her for your pleasure, for your ego. Real love is bigger than your control. Real love. So what I'm going to advise you to do is seek help, go into intense therapy. You don't need to be around any woman in any relationship because you're not ready yet. And whatever you do not go to Norwegia. Where is that? Norway. Sorry, I said
Norway.
Norwegian. I said Norwegian. They're not here and there. They're real gals. If you're not the boss, go to Norway. Try to go to Norway. Because you might find yourself in a Norwegian prison.
Wait.
Wait. I kind of hope he does go, and then when he gets there, she's like with the biggest, baddest, the Norwegian that got the beard, and it's just like, and he like knocks on the door, and he's like, yeah, like I would just be like,
she got one of those big old Vikings with them big hats.
Yes. Just chopping it, just outside. Look. Got a fire going. He just come on, I'm here for, and they're gonna be like, and then he runs away. I'm like, yeah, I love that. I love that kind of stuff. That makes my heart happy.
Well, you know what? I'm not gonna say that, but you heard Tracy's idea. I'm gonna say keep your butt wherever you are. Get yourself some help, sir, because you are not ready to be in a relationship. And if you're listening to Radio Land, by the way, if you want to talk about where you are currently in your relationship and want to move forward, please reach out to me. Don't be the a-hole and do something like this guy did. So reach out to me at Valerie at swancenter.com, or you can go to my website, www.swancenter.com. You can reach out to me at those two places and have confidential emails with me. I promise you I will get back to you. And if I can't help you, because I can't work with everything and everybody, I'll refer you to someone that can. But don't be the a-hole, because the consequence of your action gave her the right to move forward. And you, sir, should be happy for her, because that's what real love is. It's unselfishness. And you're hurting, you're living in the past. It's not her problem. It is yours. So, yeah, you're the a-hole, buddy. Take care. Bye-bye. All right. Well, that's all the chopping block.
No, we getting into the eggplant matter of the situation.
You know, we never talked about this, and maybe we need to do 2 shows on it. Deep throating. Is there benefits in your partner deep throating you? So let's talk. We don't really talk about oral so much, but we're going to tonight, right? You know, I think for those that are active, the act of oral is pleasurable as a receiver. And for many, they love to give oral, be it regardless of your gender. Like, they love to give that. It's very intimate. If you think about you're up close in someone's proximity, you have, especially if there's an eggplant holder, you have all that right in your face. It is, you have the power. Think about it. You really, that might be going another way for me in the BDSM show, but you have the power in your actually mouth. Think about that. And there is something that's so intimate and vulnerable when your partner is in that position and you're giving pleasure to that person. However, is it really pleasurable to allow your partner to deep throat you, for you or for the eggplant holder? How do you do it? And so we're going to get into that conversation a little bit. So, you know, how does someone get into should you get into the discussion about deep throating? Because some men are very, very sensitive, and I've been told, and I've had a couple of clients that don't like it. Yeah, they do not like the sensation being that far in someone's throat. And so I think with anything, when it comes to intimacy, you have to have communication first. I know it might sound silly, but not everyone's up for everything you might want to offer. So asking him, the eggplant holder, does he enjoy deep throating? And then taking it even a step further. Do you want me to swallow? Do you want me to spit out? Because again, all of this needs to be okay for the eggplant holder and for you. You might not be, as a receiver, comfortable gulping, right? You might want to have a little tissue on the side or a towel to release what's coming out of the eggplant, right? I think that that's a part of the conversation, if you're into it with your partner, that you need to talk about. Do I want to swallow? Do I want to spit it out? Don't be offended because maybe I have a gag reflex. I don't want to do that. Because I know this personally when I've spoken to clients where he got offended that she would not swallow. And she chose to spit it out. And she said, I just don't like the taste of it. He never knew why she didn't like it. He thought it was something bad smell, a bad taste with him. He was getting shame around it. When she had disclosed to me, she's never liked the texture of it back in her throat from any man or eggplant holder that she's been with. So I think the first thing you have to do, I think you have to sit and talk about it, especially in a new relationship, because not everyone is into the whole, what was that? What's that? And we were letting deep throating. No, who did deep throating back in the day in that porn video? Both y'all looking at me like I have 10 R's right now. You're like,
I know who you're talking about.
Is it Andy Sprinkle?
I can't.
No. Is it the Sherman baby back in the 60s? God, I'm old. I'm old.
You don't know that.
Wait.
You say Shirley Temple?
No, baby. Why was the Sherman baby? What? I'm so confused.
It was a porn star in the 60s. Now I gotta Google it. And she used to be the Charmin baby, the Charmin toilet.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah. I remember.
She was the baby on the wrapping, and then she went into porn. But she was that just smells so inappropriate.
What?
That's why she got so much business. Though. Yeah.
I gotta Google it to see. Somebody Google it out there and maybe hilarious. Who was the girl that was a baby on Charmin and then went into? It was Annie Sprinkle. There was a blonde. I can't remember her name. Now I'm going to have to really look it up. Yeah. So I'm off subject now, Kendi. Thank you very much. So first thing is you want to have communication. So consent. So discussing swallowing versus spitting. We already talked about that. You gotta, and for those that are receiving,
talk about hair. Talk about hair. If we're going to talk about consent, talk about hair. Length, texture, all of that, cleansed, oiled, waxed, shaved. Like, you got to talk about all of that because I'm very persnickety. Very.
I actually thought you were talking about hair be pulling.
Oh, no. I mean, down there is like, as you get older and, as men age, right? Their little baby bird's nest does not look like a little baby bird's nest. It looks like long things. You got to ask, like, what is you taping it or what are we doing? Like, I'm way up here and they way down here. Like, yeah, tape them up, make them higher.
You should not be taping them up to make them higher. It is a fact of aging that they are going to drop. So guys,
I know sometimes they be dropping in the toilet. I seen it. I heard it on the radio once. It's crazy.
Straight up lie.
And they die. And it will mature. It is going to take its course. They're going to drop as you age. Don't listen to Trees and try to tape them up. Let them hit the toilet. I can't even. Is there a tape for that? I'm sure there is.
Yes, use the same tape that ladies use to tape the
That's
rest
exactly what I was
today.
thinking. I'm like, that's actually not a bad idea.
Like, here's the upper part, here's the baby birds. I gotta go all the way up. Long. That's like 20 minutes. Tape it up. Make a U route. Cut it in between and pull it up.
If y'all are not on YouTube, you have missed the best expression Tracy ever gave. Go right now to Brown Sugar Confessions on YouTube.
That's what we're talking about.
That expression that she just gave was absolutely priceless. What do I say to you to that? I don't even know what I'm talking about right now. Are we talking about taping them or are we talking about deep throating? What are we talking about? These are all
It's all
important. It's
encompassed.
all important. I just stated that you don't want to get hair on your teeth, right?
Oh my gosh. It's horrible. I'm turned off right now thinking about it.
I'm trying to be serious, and you're not making it easy for me to be serious. Okay, so we want you to be well groomed, and she's going to tape that all the way, your receiver. Doesn't have to be a she. You're going to take that all the way down the throat. So talk about it, clean it up, and that's what they need you to do. I guess we're not educating men's making stuff. I guess after you want it taped, I guess you can use the same boob tape that we use to tape them up.
I think so. It'll stay.
Okay. All right. Lori, help us. How did you sensitize the throat for that? What do you use? Or should you? What can you practice? What can you practice on to get that gag reflex out the way? You know what? If we go back, remember this trend in the summertime, the hop to it, girl. Hop to it. You spit on that thing. Remember
That's
that?
gross because it's not spit. It's
But
not.
some people do like the hop to it. You gotta say that. Some guys do.
Nasty. Show them the door. I don't want them.
Okay. So I think you ask your partner, do you want me to talk to her on that thing? Because some guys, like, I mean, I get it that they didn't really get into that. They're not for that. Let's go over TikTok with these guys on it. Yeah, I'm about you to sloppy and drippy and where am I going with this?
Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. It's the aesthetic. I'm gonna tell you right now. The little like slobbery, like stringy stuff is aesthetic. Look, I watched it. I saw a thing. I went somewhere. I saw some things. It was hot. Not that old hot to a nasty snot stuff. I don't do that. But I saw some things, and I am gonna tell you, it was quite nice to see.
Well, we're all gonna go to a part 2. I'm gonna finish this show tonight. I'm gonna finish it. Look, here's what you're gonna do, right? You're simply gonna take a nice deep breath, right? You can use a toothbrush, you can use a cucumber, you can use a dildo, you can desensitize your gag reflex so you're not gagging on it. And you're going to push that on the back of your throat and notice if you're gagging or not. That's really the easiest way to start out. If you are sensitive to something like that, is using a toothbrush, or brushing your tongue over as deep as you can, using a dildo, a cucumber, whatever, and putting it in your mouth. You're going to hold it for a few seconds behind to see if your gag reflex settles down, and then pull it out. And then keep training yourself, because really it's about muscle memory. So that you can get past and know where your gag reflex point is, all right? If you want to learn more about this subject, deep throating and or taping up the man's you know what, reach out to me, Valerie at swancenter.com, or reach out to us at brownsugarconfessions@gmail.com. And you know what we say, always stay safe and play safe. We're Brown Sugar. Bye-bye for now, guys. See you next week.